Hello everyone, Dr. Ziad Tahir here. This video tutorial is solution to problem 1.53 from mechanical vibration SS Rao 6th edition, and this problem 1.53 is also in mechanical vibration 5th edition. So it's find the equivalent mass of system shown in figure 1.100. So that is a system and its equivalent mass is required. Because the system is given an initial displacement x, so that is a translational displacement, so equivalent translational mass is required for this question. So this problem can be solved using equivalence of kinetic energy, that total kinetic energy of the system is equal to kinetic energy of this mass 1, then kinetic energy of that bell crank lever with the mass moment of inertia J0, and then kinetic energy of sphere of mass ms. So equivalence of kinetic energies can be used in a way that T, that is a kinetic energy, half mx dot square, and for that bell crank lever mass moment of inertia J0 is given. So for that one is half J0 theta dot square. So now we need to draw the free body diagram of the system so that we can understand that where we have translational displacement and then angular displacements. So when an initial displacement, a small value of displacement is given, so when a small value of displacement is given, so then that bell crank lever, so that will simply have a rotation theta there, and the same rotation will be here because that bell crank lever is rigid. So then we have here, due to a small translational displacement, so that is theta here, and then the same amount of theta is here. Okay, so now the displacement of mass is m and angular displacement of bell crank lever is theta. Now here, so when that end is being rotated a little bit, so then there will be some displacement for or compression in a spring, so which I'm going to assume here as x2. I am going to assume that as x2, and this end will have a displacement x. Now here the sphere, the center of sphere, the sphere, because we say no slip, so the center of sphere is moving. So when the center of sphere is moving, so it will have its center of gravity or center of mass. Center of mass is moving, so it will have one translational kinetic energy, and then the sphere is also rotating. It has some rotational displacement as well. So sphere will have rotational kinetic energy as well. So using equivalence of kinetic energy, so kinetic energy of the whole system is equal to kinetic energy of mass m, then the kinetic energy of that bell crank lever, and then two kinetic energies of this radius. One is a translational kinetic energy and the other one is rotational kinetic energy. And I'm going to assume that when this end of bell crank lever will move towards left, so K2 will have a displacement x2, and then the sphere that will have also a rotation as theta. Now that is equivalence of kinetic energy, half mx m equivalent x dot square is equal to half mx, that is the kinetic energy of mass, and then next is the kinetic energy of bell crank lever, which is half J0 theta dot square. And now this sphere has two types of kinetic energy. One is a translational kinetic energy, which is half ms, mass of sphere, into x2 dot square, because I have assumed that the displacement or compression in spring K2 is x dot, and then rotational kinetic energy of sphere is half Js, where J is the uh, mass moment of inertia of sphere along its center of gravity or center of mass, and then theta s is the rotation in the sphere. So now that is equation, and now we can find out M equivalent, so that if we write that theta in terms of x, x2 in terms of x, and then theta s in terms of x. So now that is a simple now, like for the lower end here, if I'm going to use that s is equal to r theta, so then using s is equal to r theta, because that is a small rotation, so then x, that will become L1 into theta, because the radius of rotation for lower end of the bell crank lever is L1, and that x2 will be equal to L2 into theta, because the displacement over the upper end will be using s is equal to r theta, so that will be L2 into theta. So then we can use these relationships to write theta in terms of x, and then x2 in terms of x. Now x is equal to L1 theta. So by taking derivative of both sides, x dot is equal to L1 theta dot. So then theta dot is, that will become x dot over L1. So after substituting that theta dot in this equation, so the second expression that can be written in terms of x. Now that x2 is equal to L2 theta, so x2 is equal to L2 theta. So by taking the derivative, so x2 dot is equal to L2 theta dot. So then I have already written that theta dot in terms of x dot. So just substituting that theta dot from here into that expression, so x2 will become L2 over L1 into x dot. So now I can substitute x2 dot in this in the third term. So then the third term will also be written in terms of x. So next I need to see how I can write that theta s in terms of x. So here x2, that will be equal to rs into theta s, because when a rotation is given, that, and if it is being multiplied by the radius of the sphere, so then you'll have x2 there, and then I have written that x2 is equal to rs theta s, and by taking the derivative, and now theta s can be written as x2 over rs by just rearranging. And here I have the expression for x2. So if I substitute that expression of x2 here, and then after simplifying, so theta s, that will become 1 over rs L2 over L1 into x dot. So then it will become L2 over rs L1 into x dot. So now I have written that theta s in terms of x dot as well. Now I need to find out mass moment of inertia of a sphere, and from the standard table, the moment of inertia of sphere having mass m and radius about its center, it is 2 over 5 into mr squared. So that is a formula. So that formula is given in the book as well. So then jg is equal to 2. So jg is 2 over 5 mr square, and then mass moment of inertia of the sphere about its mass center of mass, that is Js, is equal to 2.2 or 5 ms rs squared. So now I have simplified everything so that I can write these three terms in terms of x. Okay, so now I have that theta dot, I can substitute here, x2 I can substitute here, I have theta s which I can substitute here to further simplify. Now in second term here, I can substitute theta x dot over L, so it will become x dot square over L1 squared. Then in the second, third, fourth term, x2 dot, which I have here, so it can be substituted, so it will become half ms L2 square over L1 squared x. and then here I can substitute the value of Js, which I have just write expression for it, and then for theta s the expression is there, so I can substitute there. So now that is an expression, and that expression is further simplified because all four terms on the right hand side, that has x dot square and half. So I can take x dot square and half common factor from right hand side, and then I can cancel that half x dot square on left hand side. So from here, first term, when I can half x dot square common factor, so left with m. From the second term, when half and x dot square is taken as common, so left with j dot over L1 squared. From the third term, when half and x dot square is taken as common, it is ms L2 square over L1 squared. And in this expression, when that half is taken as common and x dot is taken as common, it left with 2 over 5 ms rs squared into L2 square over rs squared into L1 squared. So r s square is going to cancel with rs, so it left with ms L1 squared L2 squared over L1 squared. So now that is a simplified form, and both of the terms are same. So 1 plus 2 over 5, so that can be further. So 1 plus 2 over 5 is now 7 over 5. So that is the equivalent mass, equivalent translational mass of the whole system. So that is expression. So I hope you find this explanation helpful. So thank you very much for watching.